We'll turn to another senator, Democrat out of Florida, whose position on the Iran deal was very important last month. Democratic Senator Bill Nelson joins us from Washington, considered one of a handful of Democratic senators who were key on the Iran deal. His support was not obvious, but he came out in support of it on August 4th. He joins us as Congress comes back into session. Senator Nelson, thank you very much for being with us.
Tom, it's a pleasure to be with you.
You said when you decided to support the Iran nuclear deal that you would vote in favor of the deal, quoting you, unless there is an unexpected change in the conditions and facts. Do you see a change? Are you solid for the deal? Will you help uphold a presidential veto if it comes to that?
Yes, I will. There has been no change in the facts over the course of the August recess. And I will cast my vote in favor of the Iranian joint nuclear agreement.
What do you expect to hear in the debate this week? Senators are asking to actually be in the chamber, which these days can be kind of rare, to hash this thing out, at least rhetorically this week. What do you expect to hear, Senator Nelson?
Well, I think a lot of senators will be there because I think although most have now made up their mind, there's only a handful. And I think in your previous interview, I heard just a snippet of it at the beginning with Jeff Flake.
Yes.
Who is a good friend, and he's a good senator. And interestingly, he said as he concluded on the nuclear deal, he thought that it did what it needed to do on the nuclear. He has other reasons to oppose it. Well, my reasons for supporting it is exactly that it is a joint agreement to prevent Iran from having a nuclear bomb. I think at the very least, it prevents Iran from developing a bomb within 10, at the very least, 10 years, 15, 20, 25 years. And therefore, I think it accomplishes what we set out to do, and Iran with a nuclear weapon is a huge threat to the interest of the United States, our allies, especially Israel. And I think with all the safeguards in it, with all of the immediate access to the 3 declared sites, with the ability to go after them if they try to develop one and cheat in a covert site, I think this is in the best interest of the United States and Israel.
Senator Nelson, as you know very well, over the weekend we saw Senator Cardin out of Maryland, a Jewish member of the Senate, come out in opposition, Democrat, in opposition to this deal. We saw the Democratic Party chairwoman and your colleague out of Florida Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz on Sunday saying she would support the deal and President Obama. Of course, we had Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, standing right there in Congress saying, don't do this. This is a disaster. You come from a state with a significant population of Jewish voters. What have you heard from them, and what kind of consequences do you think you may face supporting this deal?
The Jewish community in America is split. The organization, AIPAC, is very hard over against this agreement, and with a lot of emotion and passion because they think that Israel is threatened. Interestingly, the former head of Mossad and the former head of Shin Bet, which are the 2 intelligence agencies of the State of Israel, have come out in favor of the deal. So there is a genuine disagreement in perspective and a disagreement in a matter of conscience. My question for me is, what's in the interest of the United States and our allies? And it is very clear that this joint agreement, unless Iran cheats, will prevent a nuclear weapon from being developed for 10, 15, 20 years, and the world is going to be a very different place. And if they cheat, We've got all the apparatus in place. We are going to catch them, and we will have all the options on the table that are available to us today, including our allies supporting us in reimposing these economic sanctions that have hurt Iran, that brought them to the table in the first place.
Senator Bill Nelson is with us, Democrat of Florida, in Washington today. Senator Nelson, just this morning, your fellow Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, Democrat, says he will oppose the nuclear deal with Iran. There has been some hope in the White House and State Department that you would have enough Democrats supporting the deal, that there would be a filibuster. It wouldn't have to come to a veto. Now Senator Cardin says no to the deal. Senator Manchin says no to the deal, Democrats. Is there any hope of a filibuster at this point, or is it inevitable that it goes to the veto, sir?
Well, that's 4 Senate Democrats that have opposed the deal, and as of right now, there are 38 that support it. So if 3 more Senate Democrats come out in favor of the joint agreement, that means it's 41, and that means that you cannot proceed because of a motion for cloture would not prevail. It needs 60 votes under the Senate rules.
May we move? So it might happen. May we move to spending? Do you see a shutdown coming? Ted Cruz says no to Planned Parenthood funding, even if it goes to a shutdown. This Republican leadership says no, thank you. Where do you see the appetite there?
I don't think there's appetite in the Senate Republican caucus for another shutdown. The last one a couple of years ago hurt them terribly from not only a policy but also a political standpoint. So I think that our Senate colleagues, our friends in the Republican caucus, I didn't hear Jeff Flake's comments on this, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not doing everything they can to get Ted Cruz not to do the attempted shutdown of the government.
Of course, we know he's not an easy man to shut down on that front. It looks like some of that effort will go forward in any case. Senator Nelson, it's been terrific speaking with you today. We wish you good luck in the session ahead, and we thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Tom. Have a great day.
You too, there in Washington. Senator Bill Nelson, Democrat of Florida.